And here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. And to all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel, and to all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. It helps out the YouTube channel with the YouTube algorithm, letting me know that you appreciate the time and effort I put into these videos. Now, right after this chart analysis and all the information we're going to cover on Ocugen, I'm going to talk about two ticker symbols I briefed on this morning. One went up 10%. Another one went up nearly 50%. And we're going to talk about the ticker symbol you want to add to your watch list that has actually gone up $7 since I mentioned it. And I think it still has room to push upwards. So the first thing I want you guys to be aware of, if you didn't know this, share this with a friend. Or if you know friends that may not know this, share this with your friends. Okay, guys? Because Ocugen right now, just by the spikes that I'm seeing and how it's been spiking since the beginning, this has been a stock that is pure, buy the rumors, sell the news, right? We got a lot of rumors going on with Ocugen, FDA approval, whatnot, articles going out. Everything as of right now I'm aware of is that Ocugen is going to get 100 million doses sent out, right? I've read that article with you guys before, in Q2, and sometime this month or sometime in Q2, they're going to receive emergency use FDA approval, right? So down below, I'm looking forward to see those rockets. I see your guys' rockets every single day. I love it. I can't wait to see a whole entire comment thread of rockets, because once this rocket ships, we're going to remember those rockets, and we're going to remember from this day moving forward that the opportunity is here, right? Nothing's confirmed. The speculation and hype is there, and there's a lot of risk. I always say this. High risk, high reward. That's what people say, but I like to remind you guys, high risk, high losses. So be careful always, right? Where did this stock come from? From 33 cents, and it's at $6 and some change. This stock is pretty much up significantly. And I'll never forget, I announced to everyone before the news, I called that video the news before the news, when they were going to plan doing a direct offering, right? That was pretty interesting, of like almost 500 million shares. If you guys remember that, you guys can comment down below as well to go ahead and remind me more about it, or also remind other investors. But this is the first thing I did. I went ahead and went to this filing that was on the 31st, and I went through it, and there's like a little bit of interesting stuff. Their mission, right, with their gene therapies, this is really what they're about. And then develop a vaccine to save lives from COVID-19. I don't think they're developing the vaccine. They just said it like that to like kind of get ownership, but they're in a partnership, okay? At the end of the day, Covaxin is not theirs. So right here, they talk about Covaxin, right? All of this information, and it's in phase 3 clinical trials and so forth and whatnot. And they talk about how it's effective to neutralize the UK variant. That's the one thing that's making Covaxin seem interesting compared to the others, and coverage against multiple protein antigens, also the way that the storage conditions are, all that other stuff, right? So they say it right there, license rights from Bharat Biotech from the US market currently received EUA in India, right? We already know that. That made the stock jump months ago. But this is where it gets interesting. So we have the CEO, co-founder, right? And the leadership team, right? A chairman. And it says Pfizer right here. Okay, interesting. Then I went ahead and I was looking through this, and I kept scrolling. And then we get a few more Pfizers, right? We got the scientific retina team. These are the guys focusing on the eyes. And right here, we got our vaccine scientific advisory board. And you got yourself Pfizer, okay? That was something that stood out to me the most. Pfizer, and then up here, Pfizer, okay? Very interesting stuff. They talked to us a little bit about Covaxin here and how it works, the efficiency and so forth, everything about it, and all the things that they plan on doing moving forward. So right now, this is seeming pretty interesting, and it's something that I believe that has an opportunity to probably get out there. Look how much things they're talking about Covaxin. Like, they're almost like owning it, right? Owning it. And it's an inactivated SARS-CoV. Look at that. I love how they went ahead and put the whole virus, including the S and N, and everything going on, and pre-EUA discussions with the FDA. Pre-discussions. We're still in the rumors, right? Buy the rumors, sell the hype, sell the news. And right there, this is how they go ahead and show themselves how Covaxin, right, stands out from the others. S and N proteins. This virus right here is a little bit different than the others. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the others, but the only way Covaxin can seem so interesting and coming from India to finally get FDA approval, it needs to seem more interesting. And just by looking at it, seems more interesting. Now, I'm not too sure about the aluminum hydroxide and the TLR, what that has to do with anything. If you want to do research on that, is that something that would be a good thing or a bad thing to be in the vaccine? That's something to keep in mind. But right now, these are the things that are standing out, and then the inactivated form of the virus. That's how we've known viruses to be made for years and years and years. Now, they go ahead and talk a little bit about the safeties and stuff, the efficiency, the stability, and the multiple viral antigens, and they're just checking out all the other marks, making Covaxin seem more interesting. Obviously, you got to dig a little deeper. I wouldn't just go off of what they're saying, because obviously they want Covaxin to seem the best. But very interesting stuff. Read through all of this and really stood out to me, and those Pfizer directors were very interesting to see myself. So this stock is certainly in the position of buy the rumors, sell the hype, sell the news, right? So that's what we're waiting for, the news. But it seems like it's possible. March 31st, they went ahead and launched all of that. And this stock literally ran up, right? Because Jim Cramer talked about it the night before. And it hit a high here of 825 and it fell back down again. I mean, that's how fast this stock is looking to lose traction. People are just selling out of it so fast, or riding it and then getting out. But the ones that are holding strong are certainly holding this one up above that $5.85 and $6 mark that I've always talked about. So right here is our support, and that's $6.65. The 50-day moving average is $6.78. As long as we're above it, we're in bullish territory. If that gets broken through, $6.65 is the next point to watch, and see how quickly this is moving downwards, or are the bulls trying to reappear to bring it back up. Now, what the bulls really need to break through is this resistance, and that's $6.92 to reach newer highs, new resistance levels, and pull further up. Once they accomplish that, $7.34 is their next resistance to break through, to continue the momentum, pulling further away from the 50-day moving average, reaching newer highs and new resistance levels. If you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell so you don't miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. I want others to be aware of this information with Ocugen. And don't forget to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. Helps out the YouTube channel and lets me know you appreciate the time and effort I put into making these videos. Let's go ahead and jump into the other stocks. The ticker symbol I want you guys to add to your watch list is a very big company. They did a stock split and they've gone up $7 since I mentioned it. It's a slow mover, but definitely one to watch. I think it still has some more upside. But before we jump into it, here we have on the screen a chart to one of the stocks I briefed on this morning. If this is something that interests you, you can definitely join me and the other investors over at the Patreon and Discord. And there's some very bright, smart investors over there, learning investors, beginning investors, and even experienced investors. Very privileged to have them all over at the Patreon, and we're looking forward to you joining us as well. So right here, it was sitting at 160 when I briefed on it. So let's go ahead and look here, the time frame that I went ahead and mentioned it. It was 8:46 a.m. SFET has jumped and has news coming out that they're approved vendor for NASA Solutions. Interesting one. It is at 160. Volume is picking up too. So literally right there is 8:46. 8:47 is the timestamp, and it was sitting at 160. And it's kind of funny that it ended the day post-market at 160. That was like probably the support / resistance of the whole day. But from that point forward, it jumped up and it hit 178. That right there was a 10 to 12% gain. We're looking for 5 to 10% every single morning, and that's it. No more. We're not greedy. We just want our 5 to 10%. Anything beyond 10%, I call it a home run. Anywhere between 10 to 15 is pretty reasonable, but anything beyond 15, 20, that's a home run. And this one was pretty close of a home run at 12% gain, right? But I'm just rounding it down to 10%. It was 2 cents away from 10%. So this one right here definitely ran out pretty fast, and that was within minutes. If you look at the timestamp here, 8:47, all the way up to the peak here at 8:52 in just a few minutes. Now, another one which was very interesting, no pun intended, and the ticker symbol is very. I talked about it at 8:11, and we could see the timestamp here, and it was right here, 8:11. Very just pulled back and touched $14. One to watch, especially with this kind of volume. Already ran once this morning, and it has been pulling down. So this one close to 8:11. It had hit a low here, right here around this time. You could see it here around this time. It was starting to fall, and it hit a low here of about $14. All right, a few minutes after that, and it bounced up to 14 and some change, fell back down to 13 and some change, and bounced up to 15. So this one gave close to 10% if you just waited a few minutes. This one took almost 30 minutes. Now it pulled back, and once the market opened, right, it hit a low of 14.17, and it shot up right away to 20.64 and hitting a high of $21 in just a matter of an hour. Okay, this was a big home run. This was almost 50% jump within an hour, and I told you guys that 5 to 10% is what we're looking for. This was a big play here, and it was kind of just sitting sideways, and it took off. So if you're interested in opportunities like this one, definitely join us over at the Patreon. So here we are with the ticker symbol I want you guys to add to your watch list, and we're going to see when I mentioned it. And by the way, the links are down below. I didn't mention that. The links are down below for the Discord and Patreon. So NextEra Energy, NEE. Let's go ahead and put this on the 30-minute so we can look at it a little bit more comfortable. And you could see here how this stock pulled back, and it hit a low of $68. And when I mentioned it, let's go ahead and look at what date it was. I went ahead and mentioned this on the 21st, and right there is Charge Point. I've talked about this one several times, so I left it there. But Charge Point has been another one of our great opportunities since the 21st. But NextEra Energy, I wanted it to get closer to $60. That was me being greedy, but anything close to 70, 68 was a steal on this one, okay? And this stock did a stock split back in October, okay? And it was getting back to pre-split numbers. That's what was making it even more interesting, because we may not see those numbers again. So when I mentioned it on March 21st, right, it had actually gone downwards, right? It was this weekend right here, sitting close to $72 and some change, right? And then it dipped, right, on the 22nd, down to $70 and some change. We never saw it touch that again. Bounced back up, came back down to 71, and since 71, it's been shooting up, okay? Just going down, up and down, up and down. This is a company I suggest doing your research on, and its peak here after the split was $87. So it's $10 away from its highest point. I believe this has room to even break through that. Now, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight, but this stock has been hitting newer lows, newer highs, newer lows, newer highs. This is a tremendous company, huge company, and institutional ownership is big. I'm talking about close to the trillions, okay? Think about that on how much they own. They own large amounts of this company. It's huge. Like, you look up how much Vanguard owns, and it's like hundreds of billions of dollars. And it's like, when you look it up on Google, it does 0.0 something something trillion. Like, they're basically telling you, like, they got a lot. They got a lot. The value is a lot. But you can also see too how their revenue has become smaller, but not because of their business model, but because I think of innovation, right? They're reinvesting that net income. So they're still profitable, and they're reinvesting the money for innovation. I mean, big things. And when you actually zoom out and you look at this from the one day, you know, this has been a growing company all its time. Like, really think about it. It's a huge deal, and you're going to be able to own a piece of it. It's pretty cool. But this isn't something that's going to get you rich overnight. We always focus here on Invest for Tomorrow, maximizing profits, minimizing losses, and focusing in on opportunities. So if you feel like you missed this one because you didn't catch it at $70, it's all right. You can watch it for a pullback. And if you feel like this is not for you, that's cool. I'm not here to tell you to buy, sell, or hold any positions, but I am here to enlighten you. And at the end of the day, if this pulls back or just continues going up or kind of sits sideways for a little bit, this stock will be higher than where we see it today. Just look at that 1-day chart, okay? Once upon a time, these were the present days, and I would always say this, and I'm saying it right now. Today's prices are cheaper than tomorrow's, and this is a good chart to go ahead and show you that true statement. These days were once today, and those today's prices were cheaper than tomorrow's, and tomorrow is right here, the bigger picture. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.